Okay. So this nama is 96, but if you see all the way, it will go beyond 108. Because some start at a different point. See, this goes up till 125. Say 125 வரைக்கும் இருக்கும் அது 124. Yeah. That is because some of these namas are broken differently by different commentators. So we will look at 19. Brahmeshanachyuteshaya Suryaya Aditya Varchase Bhasvate Sarvabhakshaya Raudraya Vapushe Namaha. Om Brahmeshanachyuteshaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Aditya Varchase Namaha. Om Bhasvate Namaha. Om Sarvabhakshaya Namaha. Om Raudraya Vapushe Namaha. So, what he's saying, he's saluting Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Salutations to Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Salutations to Surya, the sun god, by whose power and effulgence both the illuminator and the devourer of all is a form that is fierce like Rudra. It's a continuation of what we saw last time, I think. Ugraya, Viraya, Sarangaya, Namo Namaha, Namah Padma Prabodhaya, Martandaya, Namo Namaha. Martanda, Kalpaka looked up a meaning. Kalpaka, you want to share what you shared?
That it said Martanda comes from Mrita Anda, which is a dead fetus. So on the Pannanda
slow, Kalpaka, sorry. Just slow. Mrita Anda.
Martanda is a dead sun, sun that has sunk below the horizon. The Pannanda Adityargalla, each one is related to 1 month, and they are saying it's a different state of the sun, if you like to think of it like that.
Okay.
8 different states of the sun during the daytime, and 8th one being sunken sun or the sun during sunset.
I see.
So அதுவும் அந்த 12 மணி நேரத்துல வந்து the last part is
Martanda. Okay. So the different phases of the sun from the rising to the setting. So the setting sun is called as Martanda. Okay. Nice. So it was about this Ugraya Viraya, last verse. So this verse is kind of in a way continuing. Brahmeshanachyuteshaya Suryaya Aditya Varchase Brahma Eshana Achyuta Achyuteshaya Brahmeshana Brahma Ishana Achyuta Ishaya. So I wonder what is this Ishaya here. Brahmeshana Achyuteshaya. Achyutesha. I think his name is Achyutesha. So Brahma, Isha, Achyutesha. He is the 3 of them, which is the creation, sustenance, and destruction. We've seen this in previous namas also. Suryaya. The nama Surya means that which instigates us to do activity. Surya means, one of the meanings of the word in the dictionary, Vachyartha Vachyartha is that which instigates you to do something, to do action. That is Surya. So he is Suryaya. Adityaya Aditya Varchase. So Suryaya Aditya Varchase. His Varchase means he is one who's in the form of Aditya. Surya, you approach him as a form of Aditya. The essence of what Aditya stands for is Aditya Varchase. So you are referring to Aditya Varchase. Bhasvate Namaha, one who is not Not only, so Bhaswate, we have also seen it before. A lot of these namas will repeat in ways. And in terms of meaning also, they will be very similar. Bhaswate Namaha is one who is effulgent, who is effulgent, not only in the sentient, but also in the insentient. What that means is consciousness is not only in things that move, not only in organisms, not only in living beings. Consciousness is also existing in non-living beings. Which is why you're able to invoke we're able to invoke Shiva in the linga. Linga is an insentient thing. It's a rock. But we're able to invoke the energy of Shiva. It vibrates. If you do prana pratishtha and if you do archana and aradhana, you can invoke the energy of Shiva in that piece of stone. Go to a temple, Devi or Krishna or Vishnu, they are just a piece of stone, actually. But in that piece of stone, we are able to invoke that consciousness. And we hold it higher than ourselves. If you see a piece of stone on the road, kalla or kallu pattadana, you're not going to go bend down and ayo kalla pattate. You're not going to pay respects to a stone on the street. But you go into a temple, it may be the same quality of the stone in terms of material quality, but it achieves a different quality of consciousness when it's in the temple. And there you go fall at its feet. You're actually falling at the feet of a stone, or you're falling at a stone. How does that get that property so that you revere it? How does it become an object of reverence? It becomes an object of reverence because there is consciousness there. And through the process of technology of prana pratishtha and aradhana, you invoke that consciousness, you make it alive, and it vibrates with that consciousness. You go to these Panchabhuta Linga Sthalas, you will feel that. Kanchipuram Pona, you will feel. Tiruvannamalai Pona, you will feel. You'll feel the vibration of that linga. So how is that possible? Because he is shining, effulgent, bhasvate. He is effulgent in everything. The only difference between us and a non-living thing is that we are a greater reflection of consciousness than a non-living thing. A non-living thing cannot reflect consciousness unless you do prana pratishtha, unless you do something with it. It does not reflect consciousness by itself, but we reflect consciousness. That is the difference between a living and a non-living thing. A plant can reflect consciousness. The degree of consciousness a plant can reflect is the lowest. Amongst, if you look at plant as a living thing, because it grows. And on the higher end, human beings. So if you look at the whole spectrum, all of these things move. Move means a plant doesn't move from its place, but it moves in space. It moves in space. When it grows, it moves in space. So just by that movement, we give it a consideration that there's probably life in it. But the same thing is also true of a wood, of a stone, of minerals. Because it's the only difference is these manifestations of creation exhibit or reflect the consciousness, the supreme consciousness, reflect it to a certain degree. But these non-living things that we term as, they don't reflect consciousness so much, but it is there. Adanalada, in our culture, we have this culture of revering everything, even a hill. திருவண்ணாமலை போனா கிரிவலம் பண்றோம். You're actually going around a whole mountain of rock and stone. That is all it is.
That red mountain, actually, when you look at it from the Google satellite image shows it as a beautiful red mountain.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's very, it's amazing. I was stunned. நம்ம எப்படி அருணமலைன்னு சொல்றோம், it is literally that red.
Aruna
If you
color.
can see it in green or brown color mountains பார்த்தேன்னா இதுல satellite. I was, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. I've not seen that, but beautiful. Same thing, Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is nothing but a stone, rock. And we revere it so much. There are 16 faiths in the world that visit Mount Kailash and hold it high. 16 faiths in the world. So these are Bhaswate. So he is Surya Bhagavan, or the divine principle, the cosmic principle is shining through everything. And if we have the ability, we can convert anything and everything to reverberate with that consciousness. Siddhargalla adane pannuva. Agastya, not Agastya, Bhogar has created in Parani Navapasham vechi, he's created Muruga. Navapasham, these are 9 different poisons. Any one poison, you take it in a small quantity, will be dead. He has created this Vigraham with Navapasha, 9 different poisons, and yet after the Abhishekam, the milk Abhishekam, you take that milk Abhishekam, you drink it, it will have beneficial effects to your health. So they know the sciences of how to use material to activate the divine energies in it.
Wrestling they made a lingam out of mercury. Mercury உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், ஒரு மாதிரி லிக்விட் சாலிடா இருக்கும்.
ஆமா ஆமா ஆமா.
இதுல அம்பத்தூர் பக்கத்துல திருமுல்லை வாயில்னு ஒரு கோயில் இருக்கு. ரொம்ப பழமையான கோவில், ரொம்ப ஃபேமஸான கோவில். முல்லைக்கு தேர் கொடுத்த இது சொன்னாங்க, திருமுல்லை வாயில். சிவனுக்கு வந்து அங்க வந்து உள்ள வந்து ஒரு இவர் வந்து சிலர் வந்து ரசலிங்கம்
ரசலிங்கம் இருக்கா, அங்க இருக்கா? எவ்வளவு க்ளோசர் டு கோயம்புத்தூர்? இது
இல்ல கோயம்புத்தூர்ல, சென்னை அம்பத்தூர் பக்கத்துல இருக்கு.
அம்பத்தூர் பக்கத்துலயா? ஓகே, தட் இஸ் வண்டர்ஃபுல். பிகாஸ் நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி மர்க்யூரி
you cannot form it into a shape.
You can't hold it, you can't bring it into this thing, but you need a certain technology to be able to do it.
ஆமா, அவரோட அந்த சித்த இது வச்சு லிங்கம் பண்ணி அதுக்கு பூஜை நடக்கும்.
Correct, that is true. And then you drink, அதுக்கு அபிஷேகம் பண்ணி மர்க்யூரி எல்லாம் சாப்பிட்டா it is poison. It's one of the poisons. Rasayana, it's one of the poisons. So they have, Kalpaka has mentioned that alchemists have this ability to convert one from the other. And that is true. They were alchemists in a way, right? So they had the ability to convert the property of material, make it beneficial.
It is like making that particular material resonate higher.
Which one?
And the particular material, any metal which they try to convert to gold or something, no? Or like what Mama said, making it behave in a certain way is like making it resonate to a higher frequency. Think of it.
Absolutely. So essentially, the whole alchemist, the process of alchemist is on the outside, and also for them, the more profound process of alchemy is within. To resonate themselves and vibrate at a much higher frequency, at the frequency of the self, the Atma. So this is alchemy from that perspective also. But so that is what. So which means Bhaswate is everything, everywhere. It is all pervasive. This consciousness, it is there everywhere. And you can, with the right technological know-how, you will be able to convert any material to resonate and vibrate with that higher frequency, at a frequency much higher than even ourselves. We consider ourselves as conscious beings, but that material can vibrate at a much higher frequency than us, which is why, imagine these these lingas and murtis have been there for thousands of years, but they're still resonating with that frequency. Kallunu sollidrom. Right? If you keep a stone and you stand, we will feel proud that I am a much superior being than the stone. But look at what a stone can withstand and deliver for thousands of years, which we can't do even for 70, 80 years. Right? We create more confusions now. Pona porun irukka ellarum.
Even நம்ம அத்திவரதர் எல்லாம் பார்த்தோம்னாக்கா கூடிய அத்திவரதர்
400 வருஷம்
ஒரு வருஷம் அது பூரி ஜெகநாத்
பூரி ஜெகநாத் கரெக்ட் அப்சல்யூட்லி தே ஆர் ஆல் வுட் ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல இட்ஸ் ஜஸ்ட் வுட் அவ்வளவு வருஷம் இதுவா இருக்கா தே எக்ஸிபிட் அண்ட் எக்ஸியூட் தட் எனர்ஜி அண்ட் we cannot. So imagine we cannot the point to make is that everything in nature has an ability to reverberate. If you are able to அதான பூஜை ரூம்ல உட்காந்து தினம் நீங்க பூஜை பண்ணலாம் கரெக்டா அதே இடத்துல பண்ணலாம், you will notice the objects in the room will also reverberate with a certain frequency, with an energy. And if you move objects in the room, you will see the energy is getting disturbed also. ஒரு பூஜை ரூம்ல பூஜை அறையில அது மாதிரி பண்றதெல்லாம். ஸோ அதனால பூஜை அறையெல்லாம் கூட என்னோட பர்சனல் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸும் பூஜை அறையில வந்து இஃப் யூ மூவ் திங்ஸ் யூ ஹேவ் டு மூவ் இட் வித் சர்டன் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் கேர். இப்போ திடீர்னு எனக்கு ஓகே இந்த ஆப்ஜெக்ட் எனக்கு இங்க பிடிக்கல, ஐ வாண்ட் மூவ் இட் ஹியர், ஐ வாண்ட் கீப் இட் ஹியர் எல்லாம் பண்ணோம்னா we have to move it with care. We should know that okay the move பண்ணா then you have to notice என்ன சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது அப்படின்னு. ஏன்னா you're building up energy in your altar, in your prayer room, you're building up some kind of energy, and all the objects in that room will reverberate. So when you move certain objects, then the energy patterns are changing. So you have to then monitor, okay, if I change it today, how is my day going today? Appadinu notice pannom. And you see something that day, you're seeing some disturbance, something, then you should come and put it back in place. These are all small ways of knowing how things work. So Bhaswate Namaha, then Sarvabhakshaya Namaha. Sarvabhaksha he is one who consumes everything. Sarvabhaksha, he is always hungry. Bhakshanam nu solluvolla, bhakshanam bhojanam, bhakshanam is to eat. He is someone who's constantly eating, which is he is fire. Essentially he is fire. So what happens, what is the property of fire? It consumes everything and doesn't retain anything with itself. தனக்குள்ள எதுவுமே வச்சுக்காது. அதனால தபஸ் வந்து அக்னின்னு சொல்லுவா. When you do tapas, that agni should burn out any dross, any negativities, any unwanted things. It should just burn it out and nothing will remain. That is Sarvabhakshaya. Evlo potalum. See, fire will never say, it may take time for it to devour. It may take time. I put 1 kilo of samagri into the fire, or 10 kilos, or a whole forest I put into the fire. It'll burn the whole forest. It'll burn that 1 kilo thing, it'll burn the whole forest. It'll burn, but the time it'll take will be long. Nalanda University was burning for 9 months. 90 days or 3 months. Nalanda University, Mughals when they came and invaded, the Nalanda University was set to fire because they knew that knowledge is one thing that if you take away from these people, then you can enslave them. So knowledge was there in the form of a big, huge, world's largest library at Nalanda University. And they set it to fire. And the books were so many there, and it burned for 3 months continuously, 90 days. So fire is like that. It'll keep burning, it'll keep consuming, it'll keep devouring. But it will not keep anything within it. It can burn the whole world down. But at the end of the day, where is the world? It will all be gone. What will remain? Fire will remain. fire will remain. So,
நாசாவோட ஒரு 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 வீடியோ புட் அப் இதுல கூட நம்ம யூஎஸ் வாஷிங்டன்ல கூட அந்த மியூசியம் வச்சிருக்காரு. அதுல வந்து க்ளோஸ் அப் ஆஃப் த சன், ஈவன் த ஃப்ளேம் which escapes, it draws it back and holds it. Right? The huge flame. அதெல்லாம் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம எர்த்தோட பல மடங்கு பெருசா இருக்கும் அந்த flame.
correct.
அப்படி வெளியில வந்து
அதையே கன்சியூம் பண்றது.
it consumes the whole thing back again, pulls it back.
It's fabulous. ஆமா. It's really
அக்னியோட சக்தி வந்து அப்பதான் தெரியும். Tremendous.
ஆமா, அந்த phenomenon, cosmic phenomenon, when you see it, it is massive. It's massive. In fact, I had an encounter of what it means to be in presence of fire, really. Homamla நம்ம பார்ப்போம், Homakunda and all that. But I went to Bhilai steel plant when I was very young. And you will see this molten steel flowing. It will be red in color. And it will be, you stand even about 4-5 feet at a distance from that, you can feel the heat. I wonder, I mean, even a drop of that will come and it comes onto you, you'll be gone. You will not be able to take that. It'll be so hot. So cosmic scale lalla vandu, it'll be phenomenal. So he is Sarva Bhakshaya. So Surya Bhagavan, he is right now I saw some articles that there are some flares that are coming out from the sun. It's sending out some kind of sun storm. There's some storms coming out of the sun. So then, which is one of the reasons also the global temperatures are rising. Right?
Communication blackout ஆயிடும். Sunstorm வரும்போது, flares வரும்போது, when some part of the storm, not the actual fire which escapes, the solar wind,
solar winds,
solar storm, that affects the communication systems and other magnetic
satellites. Satellites oda telecoms எல்லாம் வந்து இது பண்ணிடும்.
அதே சமயத்துல அந்த நார்த் போல்ல நீங்க அந்த இது பாப்பீங்க, what do you call that, இந்த lights,
aurora borealisல வந்து you can see them more prominently and changing patterns adala. That is true. That's true. So he is Sarva Bhakshaya. He is all consuming. So what it says is we have to be in that way, all inclusive, but don't keep anything within you. There is also a way to burn this out. Sometimes we go through life, a lot of times we go through in life a lot of troubles, a lot of traumas, a lot of incidents, a lot of things that go around. And then we tell ourselves, oh, there are too many things that are happening, I'm not able to handle. So it's giving us a hint. There's also a possibility of burning it within you. Just burn and dissolve. We are not that Hercules that holds the earth. I don't know if you've seen this Greek god called Hercules. He was holding the globe. So the one of the companies I know in Bombay used to have that as its a symbol. The
Atlas cycle.
Correct. Atlas cycle. So there is this guy Hercules. He is holding the earth on his shoulder, and till date he is waiting for somebody to take it from him. That is the mythology. So you have to understand, we are not Hercules. நம்ம கழுத்துல யாருமே உலகத்தை கொடுக்கல. Nobody is asking us to hold it. So we should learn to drop it. We should learn to burn it off and not retain anything within that burdens us. Raudraya Vapushe Namaha. Raudram is usually referred to as anger, right? But the name Rudra, if you look at the meaning of the word, Rudati iti Rudraha. Rodati means one who cries, is Rudra. So the Rudra comes from the crying. In fact, in Vishnu Purana or somewhere, I think Vishnu Purana, Rudra.
Because Dakshayani cries, is it? Rudra takes form. Is it like that?
No, not like that. Rudra, the term is, he is one who rids you of sorrow. So when so you cry out of sorrow, he comes to rid you out of sorrow. See, the same way Aghora. When you hear the term Aghora, it seems there is something really terrible. But Aghora means not terrible. So it is Aghora. Ghora means terrible. So some of these terms have, they carry this. Rudra means fierce one. But the fierce one is because he comes and removes sorrow. He comes with fears to remove pain and remove infliction. So the one who cries out to Rudra, and he is, because he's crying, so this is the Lord who listens to your crying. It's like that. In fact, in Shiva Purana, I don't know, in some Puranas it is mentioned that it's easier to get Shiva's grace. It's very easy to get Shiva's grace. சொல்லுவா நாராயணன் படுத்தும் தூங்கின்னு இருக்காரு, அவர் எழுப்பி கேட்கறதுக்கு டைம் ஆகும். சிவன் வந்து டக்குன்னு வந்து so that is a lot of Rakshasas in the Puranic literature are shown that they do tapas on Shiva and they get his grace rapidly. Because he cannot bear you crying. He cannot bear you yearning. So he immediately comes to your aid. Admari. So that's the idea. So Rudraya Vapushe Namaha. But for us, what is this Rudra? Suppose when you're doing Rudram, Namakam, Chamakam, we are chanting, we should remember that the same Rudra, in fact, the Rudra presentation of Rudra in the Namakam upfront is shown as somebody who is fierce. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha. He's having a bow and arrow. Ishave Namaha. Namaste.
அந்த அதுல வருமே அகோரேபியோ தகோரேபியோ கோர கோரதரேபியா
அது எந்த இதுல வரும்? What will it come in?
அது ருத்ரம்ல வருமா தெரியல.
Not in Namakam and Chamakam. No.
Not in Namakam.
But here Rudram, so when you're the presentation of Rudra or that deity is as though he is as though he is this fierce Lord. So approaching
நமஸ்தே அஸ்து ருத்ர ரூபேபியஹ வரும். அகோரேபியோ தகோரேபியோ கோரகோரேபியஹ சர்வேபியோ சர்வ சர்வேபியோ நமஸ்தே அஸ்து ருத்ர ரூபேபியஹ, like the form of Rudra.
Okay, correct. So the form of Rudra, the presentation of Rudra in Namakam is like that. He is having a bow, arrow, he is fierce, he's just coming to have a wage a war. He's almost shown like that. And so why do you go to him? Because when you invite him, he will come in a fierce way. He is an energy that comes in a fierce way. He comes in a fierce way to destroy Ajnanam within us, Avidya within us. So that is where he is coming in that force. Because these things within us, Ajnanam, Avidya, all of this have been established within us for lifetimes over lifetimes over lifetimes. So many lifetimes. Pethu edukkuradhu easy illa. It's not easy to remove that. But as it said, a cave of 1,000 years of darkness, a cave with 1,000 years of darkness, you bring in a lamp, in an instant there is light. Darkness vanishes. It doesn't mean because darkness has been there for 1,000 years, it will take you 1,000 years to remove the darkness. No. That's the property of light. It can instantaneously enlighten the place. So in that way, he comes very swiftly and He comes fiercely and he removes ignorance. Raudraya Vapushe Namaha. So, 19th, what is it? Brahmeshanachyuteshaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Aditya Varchase Namaha. Bhaswade Namaha. Sarva Bhakshaya Namaha. Om Raudra Vapushe Namaha. Then it kind of continues in the same tone. Verse 20. Tamoghnaya himaghnaya shatrughnaya mitatmane kritaghnaghnaya devaya jyotisham pataye namaha. Tamoghnaya himaghnaya om tamoghnaya namaha om himaghnaya namaha om shatrughnaya namaha om amitatmane namaha om kritaghnaghnaya namaha om devaya namaha om jyotisham pataye namaha. 108 108. So he is Tamognaya. Gnaya means to remove, to dispel. Gna. Tamogna, tamas, removes tamas, removes ignorance. Sorry. It removes ignorance. Wait a second. Removes ignorance. Then Tamognaya. Himagnaya removes. Hima also means ice, cold. Himavan, Himalaya, Hima. But here, what is he removing? He is removing the coldness of inactivity, laziness, dullness, lethargy. That is also the representation of tamas within us. Sloth. There's a term called sloth in English. It's a word that hits you hard. Some of these words which when you hear it, you feel I don't want to be that. So sloth is actually a creature, I think. It's a creature that moves extremely slow. It
walks like a creeping. Maybe looks like a big squirrel or something, but you just keep crawling very slowly.
Very slowly, very slowly.
It's a bit energy.
Ama. தட்டி சீக்கிரம் போடா அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும் தோணும். Sloth. So Himagnaya. So that is that Hima, that cold laziness that is there. He destroys that. Surya Bhagavan, the moment he comes up in the sky in the mornings, our sleep breaks, right? And you're up and about, and that energy comes because of Surya Bhagavan. In a lot of countries where Surya rises very late, you will see a certain dullness of the mind that is there. Right? Even during winter season at different places, you will see there is a certain lethargy and a dullness. And such people will want to come to tropical places where they want to have more exposure to the sun. So Tamognaya, Himagnaya, Shatrughnaya, he removes all enemies. Right? Enemies mean Sarvan Arin Vatsa Samare Vijayashyasi. He says Sarvan Arin, all your enemies I will remove, he will remove. Sarvan Arin Vatsa. Agastya tells Rama. So he tells this idea that I am this body. Shatrughna. What is Shatrughna? Shatrughnaya is to remove this idea of what is the Shatru here in this case is that I am this body, I am this mind, I am this individual entity, I am this limited creature, limited person. I am not you, you are not me. This is not yours, this is mine. Mama, mamatva, mamata. This mamata is there, which is the whole identification structure. That is our true Shatru. In that context, he says that is this whole elaborate personality that we have created. Very elaborate personality we have created about ourselves. Extremely elaborate. You cannot not think about yourself. It is so difficult to lose. Only if you are becoming unconscious, then you stop thinking about yourself. Otherwise, you are constantly thinking about yourself. I am this, I am like that, I am moving, I am doing, I am seeing, I am mine, this, that constant intention is always being propagated within us and also fueled. We keep fueling it, and also the world keeps fueling it. So that these are all the real Shatrus, he's saying. And these Shatrus also, Surya Bhagavan, you can use him as the fire of tapas, Agni. So in that Agni, what you burn, Sarva Bhakshaya Vapushe Namaha, Sarva Bhakshaya, you also burn your identity. You also burn your identity. When you burn your identity, you become more inclusive. The line between you and the rest of the world becomes blurry. Actually, the time when people are not able to define you clearly, know that you have started to become blurry in their perception. And it's a nice place to be. When people are able to very rigidly define you, means we are defining ourselves very rigidly. When you keep yourself in a way within you that you're becoming more fluid. Like I was telling Sri Suktam, I was looking at Sri Suktam yesterday, right? I was explaining that to someone, and I was saying how Ardra Jwalantim Triptam Tarpayantim. Ardram Jwalantim. She is Ardra, she is water, and she is also Jwalantim, she is also fire. Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarna Rajatasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Ma'avaha. So she is Hiranyavarnam, Suvarna, she is also the sun, Surya, she is also the moon. She is also the water, fire, she is also the water, which means we need to have both of them within us. We should have the fire of knowledge and the water of understanding. We should have the fire of jnanam, we should also have the water of compassion. We should be resolved, we should have determination, but we should also be flexible and fluid in terms of our engagement with the world. So this is an important combination. நான் இப்படிதான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நமக்குள்ளே ரொம்ப ரிஜிட் ஆயிட்டோம்னா, then the problem is that which cannot bend will break. If you heard that phrase, that which doesn't bend will break. Right? So we need to establish that flexibility in our spirit. Because at the end of the day, as a spiritual sadhaka, we are wanting to get to that source of creation. And source of creation does not discriminate anything. And who are we to discriminate? So these are Shatrus. Shatru Gnaya. So he removes all that Shatru. Amitatmane. Amitatmane is, he is he transcending space, time, object. Kala, Vastu, Vishaya. Kala, Desha. Desha Kala Vastu. Correct. Desha is space. Amitatmane, he is the one that transcends Desha, which space, Kala, time, and Vastu, object. Which means you cannot limit this principle, this entity, within space, time, object limitations. which is what our true nature is. Our true nature is essentially expansive. Vyomavat vyaptadehaya dakshinamurtaye namaha. Vyomavat, we are as expansive as space. So that space is what we have to, it's not limited space. We are not limited just by this body and mind. We are not limited by this body and mind. We have to remind ourselves constantly every day that my true being, it transcends this. And that is possible only through sadhana. We have to sit down, we have to spend some time meditation, we have to spend some time doing some sadhana. Only then we will get a glimpse of it. It becomes our own experience. Amitatmane, Amitatmane namaha. With the last three, we'll just take 2 minutes and we'll close the last three. Kritagnagnaya. So he's saying, एक second Ganga, थोड़ा आवाज. Kritagnagnaya is means, it refers to one who does not acknowledge the creator. The aspect is shown as Kritagna. He is Kritagna, Kritagna. So one who is grateful is a Krita. Kritagna is one who is ungrateful.
Kritagnya is, I think, grateful.
Kritagnya, is it? Okay. Kritagnya, yeah. Kritagnya, to be grateful. Kritagna is the opposite of that, ungrateful. And he is Kritagna. He is the one who removes that sense of ungratefulness. What it actually means is being ungrateful and arthana, reverence, lack of reverence. That is all it means. Any knowledge is received only when there is reverence for the subject that is being taught and the teacher who's teaching. There is always this reverence. Shraddha அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு வார்த்தை இருக்கு. Shraddha is, if you loosely translate, it comes as faith. But I would like to translate the word Shraddha. If you have to translate into one word, it will be reverence. Because the moment you revere something, only then knowledge will flow. And then you have to have patience. Shirdi Sai Baba பக்கத்துல எழுதிருக்கோம், Shraddha Saburi அப்படின்னு போட்டிருக்கோம். Shraddha and Saburi. These are very, very two important qualities of a spiritual sadhaka. You need to have reverence for the teaching, for the knowledge, and also have patience for that knowledge to work upon you. So he removes that Kritagnagnaya. He removes this tendency to be non-reverent towards things. Just be casual about things. Be adnal enna பெரியவாளை பார்த்தா கால் தொடணும்னு எங்கேயாவது சொல்லியிருக்கான்னு. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to bend down when you see an elderly. But you don't have to be arrogant about it. Carry reverence. கால தொட்டாதான் மரியாதை கொடுக்குறேன்னு அர்த்தமான இப்படிலாம் we talk, children talk like this, right? Only if I touch the feet, does it mean I give respect? No, but then there must be some form of expression of reverence. And then you receive the blessings in terms of knowledge. Okay? Kritagnagnaya, Devaya, he is the light. Jyotisham Pataye Namaha. He is the light of all lights. Jyotisham api Jyotihi, Tad Jyotihi. So, Tamognaya Himagnaya Shatrugnaya Amitatmane Kritagnagnaya Devaya Jyotisham Pataye Namaha. So he is Om Tamognaya Namaha, Om Himagnaya Namaha, Om Shatrugnaya Namaha, Om Amitatmane Namaha, Om Kritagnagnaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Jyotisham Pataye Namaha. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami Sadashivayeti Samarpayami Jagadambikaya iti Samarpayami Sadgurunathayeti Samarpayami Hari Om Tat Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Have a wonderful weekend.
Hari Om.